right, we're live.
Fucking
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's a time for another episode of the House of Mox podcast. Brought to you by Skittles. They're colorful and fruity and give you diabetes. Skittles, taste the rainbow.
God.
They're not an actual sponsor, but they could be.
We're gonna get fucking sued.
Oh, dude, I'll get the Skittles logo like tattooed on me, like Punk with the fucking Pepsi logo. I don't give a fuck.
What color Skittle you getting?
Okay. All right, actually, thank you for saying that. I just got a quick hypothetical. Cody, since we know Weston's, what logo would you get tattooed on you, like the Pepsi logo?
Wait, can I change my answer? I
that's a
really
good
want the
one.
Mountain Dew logo tattooed on me.
Oh, dude, yes. You need the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Cody would get the
need
Monster
Mountain
logo. I feel like that. I feel like that's.
No, Weston. We do you get the Mountain Dew logo. I'll get Baja Blast.
Just say Weston. Only do it if it's the high voltage.
Hey.
Yo, actually,
I don't know, man.
It's so
If
funny.
I could get a logo on me.
Oh my god, Mountain Dew is so funny. Have you ever seen the knockoff, like Mountain Dews or like sodas in general? Have you ever seen any of those?
Yeah, like Mountain Lightning.
Like
dude, there was one
Thunder or something like that.
in Louisiana. There was one that we got in Louisiana, and my brother and I fucking love it. It was Mountain Explosion. I was like, wow, that sounds so fucking extreme. You remember that, Cody? Fucking.
Yes, I do. I do.
A fucking glass of some Mountain Explosion, baby. Oh, let's get sponsored by those
like
guys.
some weird '90s commercial.
Yeah, right. It's like some shit that you would just see out of a fucking comic book. Like, oh, Mountain Explosion. Yeah, mom. Let me get a cup of the glass of that. Yeah, baby. Oh, fuck yeah. And now
you like that.
You gotta make sure you get those slurp noises in.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, Mountain Explosion is so good. It's like an explosion of mountainy flavor in my mouth. It tastes like whatever mountain tastes like.
Hey, you know what's a really
like the fucking snowboarder that's like, come and get some Mountain Explosion.
Mountain Explosion. Sounds like a snowboarder slang term.
So what's up, boys? What's going on?
What's up, my guy? It's another week of pro wrestling, man.
Another week of pro wrestling.
And another week of being mad about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be real. We'll get into it as we go, but I was a little on the more disappointed side about the Joker. Not saying they were bad, but I was.
Yeah, it was a little lackluster. And I also think that Johnny Elite's entrance, like, it was very just anticlimactic. Like it just didn't have the punch as like some of the other reveals that they've had. You know what I mean?
You guys fucked me up because y'all got me hyped up on Cesaro showing up, and I was starting to believe it.
That's
what happened.
I was like, oh god, who is it?
Yeah, right. Johnny Elite. I had said that to Cody, but I was thinking Johnny Gargano because I had said Johnny Impact, and he was like, "You mean John Morrison?" And I was like, "No, Gargano, because he's gone." Think of that, but no, I was right. It's Johnny Elite, baby. I didn't even
John.
That's the thing. I thought it was Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, right.
Johnny Nitro,
like,
Johnny Impact,
right.
Johnny Lightning, Johnny what? He has like
Johnny
fucking 10 names, dude.
Johnny, who does the Spanish Fly? Johnny, who does a move that really doesn't look like it hurts in the Starship.
He needs to pull like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and just like right before he leaves, his name just comes out, Johnny something.
Like, Johnny something, whatever.
Johnny something. Yeah. Johnny Elite. The female one, I'm not entirely remembering who it was because it was kind of lackluster. Who was it? Who was it again?
It was it was Maki Ito. Is that how you say it? She
Maki
was before
Ito.
I never really knew her though.
Yes.
Maki Ito. Okay, that was it, Maki.
Correct.
You know, and that was honestly a solid match. I'd never really seen anything of hers. But
match. I've seen a few things. I mean, she was a fucking jobber anytime that I fucking saw her. She was never a significant threat, but you know, I knew who it was, and I also thought it was cool that we called the fact that it was going to be a new signee and a return. Yay us! Round of applause, boys.
Yeah.
Weston edited some applause sound. Some, because of all the fans that watch this video.
But
Hurricane, it's gonna be more like boo.
You guys stink.
Well,
Yeah, but fucking,
well, guys.
right.
Well, guys, we'll get into the Jokers as we get into Dynamite. But first, we got to talk about some news that is hitting the wrestling world. Now, I got to say this. I thought about after it happened, talk on a Skype call so we could do like a quick take on it. But there was part of me that was like, we need to sit and let this settle. And what I'm talking about for anybody that doesn't know is the Sasha Banks and Naomi. Sasha Banks and Naomi, according to WWE, went into John Laurinaitis' office, dropped the women's tag titles on the table, said they weren't being respected as champions, and left the building. WWE has come out on Friday and announced that they are suspending the two of them, and that they will have a future tournament crown the new tag champions.
Oh, good.
Now, the other details I want to put out there is they allegedly were not comfortable wrestling with someone. They're supposed to have a six-pack challenge, and six-pack challenge. The winner goes on to face Bianca Belair, and that really didn't happen. They left, and so there was somebody in the match that WWE claims they weren't comfortable with, but that's come out since and said that's not actually the case. That we don't know the full details, but I gotta say, there's been a lot of support to Sasha Banks and Naomi for what they did, and I gotta agree with them. In my personal opinion, I think with what they do as a professional wrestler, I think the job is so dangerous that I don't think WWE, I don't know how the contracts work, but I don't think WWE should do like some people are claiming and they should sue Sasha Banks and Naomi. I've seen some people say they should do that, and I don't agree with that. I just think with how dangerous the profession is, if you're not 100% into it, I believe you should go home. I believe you just shouldn't be there. You shouldn't put your body on the line for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely. And honestly, I think I don't know. I'm gonna let you finish.
Well, the other thing I am gonna say now, what I will say, and I imagine WWE is gonna do is they're gonna keep them under contract, and they're suspending them now. I imagine they're gonna just keep them under contract for an extended, probably till it expires if they choose not to come back at all, which I kind of get from a business standpoint because you got to as much as I agree with them, you also kind of can't you can't give the idea that every time you want out, you get out of your contracts. These contracts have to mean something.
Oh, absolutely. And I also feel like you've had
maybe that's a bad take, but that's my opinion.
You have to look at it from all sides, right? I think the people that are saying they should be sued that's a harsh statement. If you're not happy with your job, it's like any other.
That's a little bit harsh. I don't think they deserve to be in hell for that.
Absolutely. But also, I think the biggest issue here is, I don't know. I see a lot of sides to it. For WWE's sake, yeah, this has caused a big ruckus.
I still think it's very weird that WWE went public with it and didn't try to make it into a work or anything. It's almost like they're just so, either it's the greatest work of all time or they're just completely blindsided by this.
No fucking way it's a work.
Which is weird because, dude,
I don't believe it's
this
a
is
work.
a company that's dealt with jumping ship all the fucking time. Why is it all of a sudden a problem now?
Well, they said in the statement, it was supposed to be main event.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. WWE, they had to get ahead of this because their champion showed up, dropped the belts on the table. I mean, they're gonna be off TV. It's not a work, so they can't really work it like a work. I mean, when Austin left the WWE, they announced it. They talked about it on TV. When Punk, they kind of addressed when Punk left, but they also ignored it. But when Moxley's contract was expiring and he was leaving,
Well, he left under good conditions,
and
though.
they
He
actually
definitely
did get
agreed
ahead
to
of
that
it.
whole farewell.
He left under good conditions.
WWE
but
always wants to get
they
ahead
didn't
of it,
hide
and that's
it.
the
They
thing. You
didn't
don't
just-
have a champion that walks out. You don't have champions that walk out, and that's why WWE
Not
put out the
really.
statement, because you don't
That's
know
rare.
how they don't know how to explain the situation. You can't write it out because they were fucking champions. So what the fuck? Why aren't they going to be
Right.
on the show? Well, now we got to explain why they're not going to be on the show. I think it's odd, but it's also a very odd situation. Ultimately, though, I get why they're suspended, and they'll probably hold them until their fucking contract expires, because this is causing so much buzz. They won't want either of them to sign with anybody else, because that's only going to just put more heat on the brand.
Yeah, and you know what? So they'll probably have a fucking 90-day clause in their fucking contracts too.
Oh,
so they
I'm
won't
sure.
So
90-day
Well,
clause
now-
after their contract fucking ends, probably, too.
Yeah.
Now,
that's the point.
now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be bad because, dude, either they're gonna cave in because they won't be able to work, or they're going to stick it out. I mean, if they stick it out, nobody will see them for fucking probably close to a year or so. Like that's just like assuming that their
know when their
contracts expire
contracts
this year.
expire.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's just assuming their contracts expire this year. You know, it's like
Right.
it's a bad move, but at the same time, it's a good. It was like I don't know how to explain it. It's like it was a good move, but at the same time, it can very, very well backfire.
Yeah.
Right.
And
also,
then,
like,
well, what I
it's
want.
a sticky situation because you see a lot of these headlines, too, that they say, like, Sasha doesn't have any friends backstage. And a lot of people believe Naomi wouldn't be necessarily the one to walk out right off the bat. So you never know. I mean, if you've ever worked with somebody in a shitty workase, you have that sort of thing, like that
Well, let's look
brotherhood
at
or
what we do
sisterhood.
know.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at what we do know. The reality
Right.
is, the
Looking at-
WWE has not really treated the WWE Women's Tag Titles as if they were important, and they've done that since the beginning. Let's look at how they started it. It started with Sasha Banks and Bayley as this tag team and they were just, they were winning all these matches, and then they decided to have an interview in the ring, and they asked them, "What are your goals?" Or it was something like that, and I think it was Bayley said, "We want to be the first WWE Women's Tag Champions." Okay, well, at the time, the tag titles didn't exist. So it was just this thing where, oh, well, that's going to be coming soon. And 2 months later, Vince McMahon announces, "I have a new title that we're gonna bring, and it's the women's tag title." And the problem with the women's tag title is, other than the Bella Twins and the Iconics, and a handful of others, they're not real tag teams. They're the single wrestlers that they don't know what to do with, so they put them together and throw them in the ring. They keep them there for a period of time until they get tired of them, usually not long after they get a lot of hype, and then they split them up, and that's the way it's been a lot lately.
Fucking prime
the
example.
whole women-
Ripley and Nikki should be crossed.
Well,
That was the-
Nikki AHH. I was about to say that was the one, a good example of just strange bedfellows that don't go together, and they really didn't belong together. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan could have made it. They could have been good, but they decided to split that up.
Yeah, right.
I guess maybe for the better, because now Rhea Ripley's with Judgment Day, but still.
Oh no.
I don't know, man. It's just it's a shaky situation, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more that comes out about it. It's hard to have a strong opinion about it, but at the end of the day, if you're not happy somewhere, look, man, take your ball and go home.
What I wanted to basically get to was, I kind of understand where they're coming from. They're champions, and they're not booked like they matter. And the women, this is why they should do like AEW does and have just a mid-card singles title, because that would be a good way to expose a lot of the women that aren't really getting the title picture, because if they're not in the title match, then they're not really gonna get a lot of
exposure.
They go to the tag championship, and that's not not exposure. That's not the word I was trying to think of, but it's not getting them to their full potential is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea for their careers in the long run, because both Naomi and Sasha Banks, I'm sorry, but I don't see them going to any other promotion and having a good future. The boss is just not going to fucking.
I disagree with that. I personally disagree with that. I think Sasha Banks, Naomi, I think would do fine in a lot of business.
They're so I don't know. They're so watered down as characters. It would really be interesting to see how they would evolve in a different territory.
Yeah, because I have a feeling I can kind of see where Sasha Banks could kind of turn into like a Ruby Soho type, where like there was a lot of hype just because she's an ex WWE woman, but at the end of the day, she's not really doing anything. Like, I mean, yeah, she's in the tournament, but she's not going to fucking win that tournament. I mean, she lost to Jade Cargill immediately, which we all knew was going to happen because, Jade Cargill needed to be needed to be the first champion. She needed that for her fucking character. And after that, I mean, they just kind of was pointless rivalries just to kind of keep her relevant, And even now, it still kind of seems like they're just trying to keep her relevant, which I never was on the Ruby Riot train. I never cared for the Riot Squad. I love to Liv Morgan, but that's just because. But I never cared for Ruby Riot that much, and yeah, I didn't really care too much when she debuted. I mean, that's just because I wasn't a fan of the character. At the end of the day, but it's whatever. It is whatever.
I don't know. It's. I don't know. I don't have a huge opinion on this. Honestly, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have disgruntled workers. Also, another interesting take, depending on how you want to see it. I forget his real life name, so I apologize for this. But Damian Sandow, basically came out and put a statement and was basically like, "This is theater." You know what I mean? I forgot what he said. He said, "Darth Vader had to job to Luke Skywalker. Like it's theater. So at the end of the day, like." You're supposed to go and do what you're fucking booked. But also, if you're not happy,
Banks,
you know what I mean? Because some other people were just like, Damian Sandow was never above mid card.
Has made this a good point. Sasha Banks has made a good point about this in the past. She's not just any other woman in the back. She's one of the 4 horsewomen. She's one of the women that revolutionized how the WWE presents their women. She was one of the women who got into the ring and actually put on awesome 20-minute matches. Not these 10 minutes, and that 10 minutes is a long match for the women at some points, and half of them weren't that good. They could do some moves, but they weren't really wrestlers. Sasha Banks is a wrestler. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Bailey, those women, I think what Sasha Banks wants she wants to be respected. And I really feel like out of the 4 horsewomen, she's kind of got the short end of the stick.
Oh, she absolutely has.
Bailey, I guess you could say too, but Bailey's also been out with an injury.
Yeah, because I mean, Charlotte,
Becky Lynch, obviously. I mean, they booked Becky Lynch and Sasha. Yeah, Becky Lynch and Sasha are booked to the fucking moon.
You mean Becky Lynch and Charlotte?
Not Sasha, Charlotte. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. All right, I think with that, that's a good time to move on.
Speaking of, y'all, you ready for some AEW discussion? Hey, everybody.
Let's talk about AEW.
And her name, and basically everything else about this podcast.
All right, let's start off with Adam Page. We're gonna start with his match first because, guys, there was a little bit of a what?
Who did he wrestle?
He wrestled. I wrote it down. Kanoksu.
Yeah,
I said that wrong. I don't,
yeah,
I
like
don't know the Japanese
Japanese,
guys that well,
yeah.
but
Yes, I remember. He ended it with a lariat, like he always does.
yeah.
It was a fine
no,
match.
he didn't just end it with a fucking Larry. He ended that shit with a fucking GTS. Y'all want to talk about that shit? That was fucking cool, man. That was probably the best.
I mean,
That
it's not.
look, that finish, that moment when he did that to the moment where they stared at each other on the ramp was probably the single best moment of this feud I've seen so far.
My favorite
It
moment of that.
actually is making me buy into it.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I think my favorite moment of that was is not the fact that he did to GTS, but the fact that how CM Punk reacted to it. Because he didn't like get mad, he didn't get offended. He just laughed and clapped.
Oh yeah, he was
on
like game on. He was
super flattered, like, okay, yeah, game on. And it was a real nice. It was less of like what we usually would see from him. You know what I mean? Like it humanized the character a bit more. And I like that because he really does have this whole, because I know that like when Cody talks about him, he talks about how how much he jerks off the fans, even though he really shouldn't, because he was kind of a dick for how many years when he was gone or whatever. If you love pro wrestling so much, why didn't you come back earlier?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like it was nice to see it, because at least that way you have something that's nice about it. I'm not. I just want him to at least get the belt. Like hell, even if he like just take it off of that page, like Hangman. I mean, it's really like hit a ceiling, and there's really nothing else that I can do unless you reignite the Kenny feud. But even then, it's like it doesn't make sense if you do that. He already won. The journey is over. That was the best feud, and now it's over, and now we don't know where to go with it.
Well,
and hope. I just hope to God. I just hope to God. I hope to God that this Double or Nothing fucking thing finishes the rivalry, because I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? I'm like I'm kind of
Well,
done.
what I do want to say, I find kind of funny is, okay. So I said before, I'm pretty sure at some point on this podcast I've said it. The main title does not have to be the most exciting thing on the card, but it needs to be in the top 3. And for pretty much all of his run, it wasn't in the top 3.
No.
Some of them it was pretty low.
Yeah.
But this is the first one since he won it from Kenny that I can say he's in the top 3. And the problem is he's probably going to lose it.
I hope he does.
Or I think he should lose it.
I will say though, they're doing a good job in making him look good before he's gonna probably lose this title. Because like, I go back to the spot. I go back to that spot on Dynamite because I really truly feel like, okay, so we've talked about Hangman's promos thus far. Very mixed bag as far as I'm concerned.
Very mixed
now,
match. Very much
whenever this feud started and Hangman came out and was like, "Oh, CM Punk's calling me out," and he was all angry, I didn't buy into it. I felt like that was so forced at that moment. Now, for Dynamite, that whole segment when they were really staring at each other, he did the GTS. It showed me that Hangman is almost better at the actions above his words sort of deal. And I really felt like that moment, that whole ending segment just sold me on the feud so fucking highly. And it only makes me think like post, him losing the Punk, like turn him fucking heel, give him a fucking talk piece, give him a fucking manager. You could book him so highly after him losing the belt. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to get buried here, and I don't think he will.
No, because that was what I was going to say. For a fact that if he is going to lose, this is going to be probably one of the best matches of his career. Especially, it's going to be one of the best, probably the best match of his title reign.
Also, heel turn, probably. Yeah, I'm thinking.
I hope so. Because that would at least.
I think you
book him as a face after losing the Punk. He's already making the transition. Yeah, I feel like.
Dude, turn him heel, and then send him to the House of Black with the gimmick of the Executioner. He's no longer the Hangman. Heel turn.
Damn. That's a big move. That's a big jump. But
Wouldn't it be cool though? I just thought of that right now.
It'd
I
be
just
cool,
made
but House of Black have enough fucking guys, dude.
Huh?
I feel like the House
No,
of
they
Black
don't. They need
after
a heart.
her, of course. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about House of Black, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
not me.
Well, what I want to also before we continue, I think there's something that happened that I do want to talk about.
What?
So this week, Eric Bischoff and CM Punk over social media got into a bit of an argument, and I think it's kind of worth talking about.
Okay.
So I don't have the quote, but I'll bring it up. Basically, what he said, what Eric Bischoff said is CM Punk has not drawn money for AEW, and that that CM Punk has kind of been a flop. I think that's kind of unfair, but I think it's interesting to discuss. What do you guys
that's
think?
a little fair. I don't think
I
we can help that.
I disagree, and I think Bischoff is a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah.
Bischoff says anything to make a headline.
Hey, whoa, he's back and he's better than ever, okay? And whether or not
You saw this whole thing how he was shitting on fucking he was shitting on Tony Khan, and he was like, "Oh yeah, if I could only start WCW back up now, I'd show him how to run a promotion."
I've heard that. I think
I'm like,
he's,
go blow
I think
yourself.
he's a little crazy.
Yeah, anything he
Well-
Bischoff is such a fucking mark for himself, just like Booker T is such a fucking WWE stan. I can't take either of their fucking topics seriously, and they're always trying to say something controversial. So it's hard to fucking take it seriously. People have said that about Punk since he's joined in. They've said Punk's run has been slow.
Well,
I think it's been truly booked correctly. He didn't come into the promotion and immediately dominate because nobody would believe that. He started from the bottom and worked his way back up because he took a long fucking break. He's not going to come out and beat Kenny Omega from the fucking jump. The dude, he had ring rust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude,
how the fuck else would you book that? But people, including Bischoff, people have, I don't know. I just, I think it's.
Well, what I will say, I don't think he is a flop in AEW's eyes. I mean, because Tony Khan and AEW, the company, are the only ones that matter. I think they realistically saw what CM Punk was going to do for them. But the fans, I think, are the ones who are the flop. The fans are the ones who I think he flopped because there were a lot of fans who felt like CM Punk was going to be the savior of AEW and that ratings were going to boost, well over 1 million. I saw some fucking losers talking about how CM Punk was going to run WWE out of business. None of that happened, and that was obvious for a multitude of reasons. CM Punk came back, and it was the biggest thing that week, and for the next couple weeks after. But a few months later,
But I don't think that's on Punk's end.
9 months in.
I don't think that's on his runs.
No, it's not.
It's a fault of expectations.
It was an unrealistic.
Being too high. Yeah,
exactly.
You can't.
That's what I'm
expect from the fucking guy. He hasn't wrestled in how long.
Well, realistically, getting someone that one wrestler will never run any company out of business. Even if you go back to look at WWE versus WCW, it wasn't just Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No,
it was
also
all those guys. But not only that, it was it was a multitude, like a whole roster of stars against a company that was making shit decisions. And they also had a company, Turner, who owned it, that didn't even want a wrestling company. I mean, Ted Turner did, but the company itself did not want it, especially after the merger. But that's where AEW not getting into the history. But
and that's exactly the thing, though.
I think that's what I think. If you look at CM Punk as a flop, you're the expectation of fans, which were unrealistic expectations anyway.
Yeah, if you're looking at it that way, you're looking at
I
it
don't.
wrong, as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like that's
Right.
just a matter of the fact. I think they handled that the best fucking way they could. And now that he's fine, I said that after his feud with MJF. I said if they don't fucking put the belt on him soon, what the fuck are they doing? Because he's ready now. He is
Yeah.
ready. You
Mhm.
can see it now.
Yep.
His in-ring work, he is at his fucking peak right now. It took him a minute to get back to that
Well, because he
caliber
can
that
only
he
go
left on.
downhill.
He can always, and dude, at his age, it's a toss-up,
That's
man.
the
You
only
don't stay
thing.
on top.
Exactly. Not every. Hey, you know what? We can look what he's doing at 44 or however old he is. Yeah, but he has a 7 break. His body recovered. But
Exactly.
the body,
And people
even though it
expected him to
recovered, can only
be
handle
the
so
Punk
much
from
abuse.
2011 coming into promotion 10 years later. You're not going to see the same fucking
No.
Punk right away. And I think
No.
he's pretty much gotten there at this point, but it's taken him, some time. And I think that was booked the correct way. Anybody that says otherwise are just being a fucking, a mark for, a WWE stan or whatever. People want to just shit on it, but I think it's been handled the right way, personally.
Yeah.
And Bischoff's full of fucking stupid hot takes. So like, as far as Bischoff goes, like I get it. Once again, this is almost in the same category why we talked about Sasha Banks. These are waves that are happening in the industry right now. These are things that are being talked about. So of course we're a podcast. Let's talk about it. But as far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day, dude, Bischoff's full of so much fucking hot air, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, let's move on to something that I think was a little more positive. We talked a little bit about Johnny Elite as the Joker, but let's actually now get into the match. Let's talk about Samoa Joe versus Johnny Elite.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
The match itself was not really the story. It was all right. It was a good match. I don't know what I'm going to expect from Johnny Elite now that he's in AEW.
Something I heard.
We all know the rule. Everybody's got to be in a stable. So
somebody said it was a one-off. Somebody said he hasn't signed a contract yet. I don't know if that's true yet. Or
I don't remember if I've seen it.
With the name Johnny Elite, I'm pretty sure he's in AEW.
That's a bold name, but I'm just saying I don't think I read somewhere that he wasn't signed. That was just like he's gonna possibly come back. I'd have to imagine,
Yep.
I mean, I don't see where a guy like Johnny Elite would fit in AEW.
Well,
they have a lot of guys that are younger and big stars, and not to say he's not a big star, but I don't know. I just think I think they got too many chefs in the kitchen,
Yeah, too many cooks.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I mean, for every single fucking other indie guy or somebody they bring from New Japan, they could have a Johnny Elite there too. You know what I mean? I don't know as far as like regular story booking where they could fit him in for sure, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if what he does next, if he does anything next. I was trying to look while we were talking about it, but I can't really find out if what I saw was true. You know how those headlines are.
Right. I'm actually scrolling through AEW's Instagram right now, trying to see if they posted one of those, that's how they usually confirm it, is if they post the picture of the Johnny Elite is all elite, And I am not necessarily finding anything.
Then I guess he maybe
the match
Johnny
was fine though.
Elite is only his AEW name. Yeah,
I haven't even gotten to Johnny Elite stuff yet, though. So it's like I haven't seen it yet. I don't think.
What was the next match?
The next match was
oh well.
Well, the next match I have on the card on the list is the House of Black match, which
Yay! Yay! Welcome to the dick riding hour of the House of Black by Nate.
Please.
Yeah, brother. Oh, I just love the House of Black. I don't even care. I mean, the match was, we're talking about, this is the one on Rampage.
Yeah.
Are we talking about? Yeah. That, I mean, it was kind of a one-off, it seemed. I hope to God that this is not like, I don't understand how it was a rivalry. I mean, Fuego del Sol has no grounds of being like, "Hey," like he's trying to stand up to his bullies, but his bullies are a murderous cult. It's like, dude, I don't think you're gonna win that, man. I don't even know why you're trying. You should have just stopped the 5 times that they absolutely fucking annihilated you. But no, now you got the help of Masked Man #1 and Masked Man #10 to help you. It's like, oh, cool, sweet, awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this match that you almost won and then got fucking annihilated at the end of it. It just didn't make any fucking sense. I mean, at the end, I guess it was cool, but then I will actually pride myself in this when I saw the thing that was covered at the top, and I'm going to call it a thing because I literally guessed. I said, "Ooh, I bet that is a tombstone that says House of Black with double or nothing on it." Because it's going to be a double or nothing. And of course, he pulled it up and there was a double or nothing chip and it said House of Black on it. And I was like, oh, baby, I'm so good. I'm so good. I hope to God this is the end of it, too. I like that Tombstone implies, I hope that this rivalry gets fucking buried, okay? Because I'm over it. Let's move on. Get them to something fucking big. You know what I mean? Let them fucking fight for championships or something. They've been around long enough. Or get us a
Yeah.
fourth guy or something. Just give us something. Something more with them. Give us Julia Hart. Give us something.
Well, I mean, what that's really what we're waiting on, right? I feel like we all know. I have a hard time believing she's not going to ever join the House of Black.
If there's no closure with that fucking big storyline, I'm gonna be fucking mad. Because what was the point
Well,
of
there's
giving her
clearly
contacts to Black, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Yep, back to a cheerleader, just me." Fucking the boys' sisters, you know what I mean? It's just weird.
we clearly can see that there's a patch which insinuates that she has the infection that Malachi has, and she's gonna join the House of Black. It doesn't. Yeah,
Of the House of Black.
if they don't put her in the House of Black, then yeah, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't see something that hard without doing it at this point.
If they do this stupid bullshit of no, I can't turn heel. I'll fight it, and then she like rips the contact out of her eye. Like I'll be upset. I'll be upset, dude. Like I'll wipe off all the black makeup and rip the contact out of my fucking eye right here in the ring. Blah, I'm not turning heel. Shitty. Or if she lifts her eye patch and it's just there's nothing there anymore, and she's like, "Oh, I'm healthy again," and then like,
I'm healed.
What is she gonna beat the fuck out of Malachi Black? No, it does. It would be fucking just disgusting if they didn't at this point. That would be the most bullshit thing Tony Khan could do. That would be a spit in my mouth if that happened. I would. That would be leave such a bad taste in my mouth. Blech.
Oh man,
the thought of it makes my stomach turn.
I'll just add on to the same thought basically that I said last week. I just truly think like House of Black is really interesting. I think it's a cool concept. I think, of course, Malachi's super talented, Malachi and company, but their booking has got me bored as fuck every time their segments are on TV. Straight up. Like, I just think they're not being booked right. I just don't give a fuck about any of their feuds, so it's like hard to buy into it. You know what I mean?
The only one that I give a fuck about is I think it more than anything. It's not that I give a fuck about their feuds. It's not that I give a fuck about them. It's literally that I just am so interested in the gimmick. You know what I mean? That when they're on screen, anything that they say to me just is interesting because they themselves are fucking cool. And I think that they've been booked to look really fucking cool every time that they're out there. And I feel that at least. But I can totally agree that a lot of their rivalries have just been fucking lackluster. You know what I mean? Like
that's probably a fault of mine. I just read too into the feuds, but it hurts my perception of them because then when I see their segments start, it's predictable,
Yeah. The Death Triangle feud, I originally, when it first started, I was like, oh, finally, we're getting something fucking cool. Because Death Triangle is fucking cool. They were fucking cool. And now I'm just like, it's been so long because everybody got injured and shit and they were gone forever. So they just kept dragging it out, or they didn't drag it out. They would just like move on and open up so many different rivalries. So now it's literally like the House of Black are getting bombarded by 5 different fucking teams every week. And it's like, you fucked with me 18 weeks ago and I'm mad about it still. So we're going to have it out right now. And it's like, why though? Why can't that just be a one-off? Like, you do realize how long-term booking works. You don't have to keep bringing up all these past one-off matches. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I'm ready to move on. I want them to have a clean slate. I'm ready for them to close out their rivalries and move on. Like they need to. They can't start something new until all of this is done. And yeah, it seemed like, and from the beginning, it seemed like they were going to go one at a time with like a target, or at least he did, Malachi Black specifically. But then he started to like fucking branch out a lot, and it's like, there's just so much going on now because a lot of people got injured and left for a while and came back. It's all clusterfucks now.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me. The match was kind of, I really do dig House of Black, and I'm not trying to diss him because I know you're a big fan of him. Like I fuck with him, but I think the booking needs to be done better for me to give more of an interest.
I will say this about the match. I thought it was a very, not necessarily funny, but it was clever. I kind of chuckled about it because I was like, that was kind of smart on Brody King. Because if anybody saw the finish, I know you guys both saw it. If you guys saw the finish, well, Cody actually I don't even think saw it, but when we saw the finish, Brody King hit him with that like sit out pile driver thing that's like really badass. And then when he pinned him, you could tell it was like a spot. You could tell it was like, oh, Evil Uno is going to put his foot on the ropes. And right as I said that, like in my head and out loud, Brody King grabbed his other fucking leg and pulled it up. It was like, he ain't putting his fucking foot on the ropes, motherfuckers. I was like, oh my God, he can hear me. He can hear my thoughts. I was like, that was cool. It was a cool thing. I say, because it's one of those things. It's like it's when you were like call something and you're like, yep, it's gonna be something stupid like that, and they're gonna get fucked out of a wind, and Fuego del Sol is gonna get to celebrate, and then Brody King just is like, no, I hear you, man, and fucking New England, I hear you. You're wrong. You're wrong. He's not gonna put his foot on the ropes. It's actually gonna be a 3 count because you wanted us to win. And it's like, oh my God. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That was just one thing about that match that really like Jones, because I was watching it and I was like, this is an okay match. It's kind of like a squash. And then that happened. I was like, oh, that's a cool finishing move. And then, it's like, oh, that ended that match on a nice note, I think. It was a good way. I don't know if that was planned or what, but it just, to me, it looked nice. It was a nicely framed thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's move on to the next match. It was Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland versus the Workhorsemen. Sorry. But
you mean wait? Was that Kevin Owens' dad?
I believe so. Yeah.
Ah, yes. I don't remember the nickname that we came up for the other guy, but I remember Kevin Owens' dad. That was funny.
The match was good, but where the news is that there is going to be a triple threat tag match for the AEW Tag Championships.
Never been done. Never been before.
I'm gonna be real. I'm actually kind of excited for this. I feel like though it's gonna be a way for them to take the belts off of Jurassic Express
without getting
not
framed.
actually have them lose. I think what's gonna happen is
think about it though. Who the fuck is gonna take it though? Is Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland? Because the other team, the fucking Bob, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, I don't see them being tag champs.
I agree. I think it's going to be Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. I don't think it's going to be Powerhouse.
Soon for those guys to be champions because they just got here. Both of them did.
I do think that's a weird spot to put them immediately in the tag team, but also like maybe you just don't have room for the singles.
Well, exactly. I understand. It's weird. I think it's a weird spot. I don't think they're going to take it. I think Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I think Jurassic Express is going to retain. Not because that they deserve to, but it just doesn't look right. I think the match will probably be pretty good, because we say all the time, Ricky Starks can put on a show. He's a pretty good performer, and fucking Jurassic Express are fucking super talented. I love them, but at the end of the day, I don't think this is a match that they can really lose because it'll look kind of bad on them. To me at least.
Well, what I could see happening is Swerve Strickland or Keith Lee pinning probably Ricky Starks or Powerhouse Hobbs, and then they win the titles. And
yeah, I can see that, but then we might get a TNT situation where they fucking flip flop the titles back and forth, and then they lose its prestige.
I don't think they're gonna do that. That seems something.
Dude, they fucking destroyed the TNT title on Rampage after somehow Sammy Guevara stole it.
Yeah, we're getting into that in the next segment, but yeah, that's a whole nother thing I just
yeah.
But do we have anything else to say on this, or?
I don't think they're gonna lose.
No.
They could still win. I honestly, it would be weird to lose to. I would hope that they would lose to a bigger tag team. That's where I don't want to go too deep into this, and I don't want to get you started. But I think House of Black, even you know what I mean. House of Black could have the power to
don't
win.
Even get started.
I don't even
get started.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, it does seem like a weird one. I mean, Jurassic Express could win, but I do kind of agree with you as well, Cody, that I think this is the perfect way to kind of book them to pass the championships along without really looking bad in the long run, I
mean, it opens up to where you can have Swerve and Keith Lee win, and then you put them in the title match. I also think there's going to be maybe, I don't know, this is just me throwing shit out there because it seems like there's a lot of elements. Maybe Christian gets involved and there's some heel shit going on. I don't know.
They've been teasing that for a minute, so
that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of moving parts in this rivalry.
That's true. I kind of forgot about that. Honestly, I straight up, this rivalry has kind of been kind of jumbled, anyways. So it's been a little confusing. But nonetheless, I'm a little kind of I'm on the fence about it. You know what I mean? I really, really think that Jurassic Express should retain. As far as like losing it and seeing either of those tag teams as champions doesn't make sense. Because here's my thought about it is if they do the stupid thing like we got screwed out of the championships, we deserve a rematch, and then they immediately get a rematch. Oh, okay. So what do they deserve to be to the first 2-time champions, tag team champions in AEW over the Young Bucks or hell even FTR?
Right.
It's like there are other teams that should be champion. House of Black is a perfect example, but then it actually feeds into that of you saying House of Black. You do that whole thing of like, oh, Jurassic Express wins them back just to finish out the rivalry, and then they rival with the House of Black, and then the House of Black just fucking dominates them, and it's like, oh, well, what was the point of you fucking losing the titles to those guys in the first place? You know what I mean? It's if they lose, they better not come back to the championship scene for a while. Like, they better do what AEW usually does, which is move the fuck on. They did that the first 2 years. They were so beautiful about moving the fuck on after of things. And actually, it was back then I used to take it for granted. I won't even lie, because I used to say, man, I wish we had some more long-term storytelling. But now in year 3, where it's all long-term storytelling, I'm just like, dude, please go back to can I go back to the first 2 years when every other month it was a new rivalry, basically.
Right.
Oh man. Those are the days.
Well, Nate, you talking about confusing. Let's move on to the next segment, which this rivalry is fucking confusing, and I don't understand what's going on. I'm talking about Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara.
Why?
And I don't understand what's going on. There was this weird double turn that I still won't let go with, and then it seems like every goddamn week. I'm hoping that once the rivalry is over with Like once they have the final Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara match, which I pray to God, let Scorpio Sky win it and move on. I don't even want to see Sammy Guevara as a 4-time champion because I want this shit to
At
end.
this point, honestly, like, is there anything even new to say here?
No,
It fucking sucks. Like,
Actually, there is something new to say. It seemed to me on Rampage that they were trying to book them as face again.
yeah.
That's what I don't understand. What is up with that? What are we doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing, Tony Khan?
I'm
snap
it
into a
doesn't-
Slim Jim.
It doesn't. There's
I
no
am
consistency.
confused.
Nothing makes sense. I can't even tell if you're a good guy or a bad guy because one week you're cutting these promos like you're a face and fuck everybody else, and then the next week you're fucking Jack. You're like, oh, we're these cool guys.
Dude, he was flip-flopping. He was acting face while doing heel things and saying heel things all in the same promo. It was the weirdest fucking thing I had ever seen. And then I don't even know which one of them is face anymore, to be completely honest, because then you cut to the fucking video screen of Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Ty Conti fucking destroying the belt. Dude, I want to point something out, too, that I thought was very weird about that. It was literally in the thing. So Ty Conti hit the belt, right? And then Sammy Guevara took the hammer and he smashed the belt a few times. And then Frankie Kazarian came in and took the hammer and started talking real close into the camera. But in the background, it was just like immediate. Sammy Guevara just grabbed Ty Conti and started sucking face. And I was like, this is the weirdest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I couldn't even pay attention to what they were saying. I literally was at a loss for words.
How are you trying to play them as face and then still having them doing that shit, that Edge and Lita bullshit?
What the fuck is the good? I'm so confused about this whole rivalry. It's like, can we just get like a third party in here that's just like, enough is enough, everybody. I'm taking both of you out. Like, please, just somebody. Can we please get somebody in there that I can just sink my teeth into to be like, yeah, yes.
This whole feud and this whole segment.
Take me away.
All their segments have now become the level of rating that I will give piss break. That's what the segments are turning into. I don't give a fuck.
They used to be sig break when I used
I just don't fucking care, man. I just don't fucking care about this feud whatsoever. Like, it's such lukewarm, tone deaf booking for a promotion that's had fairly decent booking thus far. Honestly, for the most part, like pretty fucking good. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking right now.
Me neither, dude. That I have that same kind of rating. It's the same thing for me, except it's time to get food. You know what I mean? That's it's like, oh, I'm gonna go make myself some food right now during this match. That's when I'll go decide to get myself a snack. Is when those things are happening, because it's like I just don't care anymore. But I have to watch them because I need to know what's happening, so I can talk about them here. So I need to have them.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I am literally, I swear to God, it's not like WWE booking, in my opinion, but boy, oh boy, do I just have nostalgia now when I'm seeing this rivalry play out. I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm back watching Braun Strowman win the World Tag Team titles with a 10-year-old boy. I'm feeling like I'm back there, and I'm not enjoying it.
It's WWE caliber booking, absolutely.
Oh my God, it's literally like what I'm feeling right now is the feeling I felt when Vince McMahon said, "Wow, that's a really nice main event you got at WrestleMania. You know what this main event needs? Charlotte Flair." And I was like, "Why? We already saw that." And I just don't want it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm feeling that. That's why I said I want. They just need on this Wednesday before the thing, just turn it into a triple threat by inserting one other person. Bang, just somebody else that I can just latch onto and just be like, you'll come out on top, right? Man who just got introduced to this rivalry this week. That is way more interesting than both of these men, who both of them need a break from fucking TV time. Oh my God, it's so weird. It is so weird and fucking confused. I am so confused. I am confused.
Yeah. Well,
Confusing.
let's talk about something that you were happy to watch and are excited to talk about. And I'm talking about the 10 lashes of Wardlow for Wardlow.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, my pants were not ready for that first fucking lash, dude.
The way he no-sold it.
God, dude.
Look,
And I give him credit. There was a couple.
What a way to you know that had to hurt. You know
Well,
that.
dude,
had
you
to
could
hurt.
see there were a couple that came down on his fucking traps, and that hurts like a bitch.
Dude, because you know the whole time we're
You're in
expecting
some
this to
respect
be
for
like.
me for that
You
segment,
expecting
honestly.
it to be like Cody Rhodes when he was like Family Guy reacting, you know, and he was screaming, and then Wardlow gave him one, and then they posted all the photos, and I was expecting that. I really was. I was like, this first one's gonna hurt him, and he just didn't move. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yo, fuck yeah! I was screaming. Oh my god, that was amazing. That was beautifully done. Even the ending where they kicked him in the balls and then started beating him with the belt, it made sense. All of it was just really, really tasteful. Cody, can we also talk about the Shawn Spears match during this?
Yeah, let's do it because I'm not planning on getting into it later.
We'll do it live. Dude, Shawn Spears. I don't understand. Where is this giant killer gimmick coming from? Who does he think he
Shit's
is?
so fucking dumb. I called this out last week. It's so fucking stupid. They're trying to book him all of a sudden. He's
My God, I literally name 3. I'll wait. How many giants have you killed, Shawn Spears? Because I don't think I've ever seen you kill a single giant except for on Rampage. Last Rampage, whenever that was. What was it, Friday? Jeez. It doesn't make sense. You don't kill giants, my man. You get fed to them most of the time, actually. I don't know how many matches you've even won. I remember you debuted by hitting Cody Rhodes in the head with a chair and giving him the most memorable fucking injury of his entire career. And it was really badass. And then you lost the rivalry brutally. I mean, it didn't make you're not that fucking important, my guy. You are not Wardlow's kryptonite, okay? You are not. All right. This is exactly what they've done with everything. It's like oh my god, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Next on Wednesday, he's gonna fucking demolish Shawn Spears, and there's gonna be nowhere for him to go, and it's gonna be great.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get a match. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a squash because they're gonna be they got a steel cage, so they got to have
be the lashes in a steel cage. Okay, that's what that's going to be. All right, Shawn Spears is going to hit Wardlow in the face with a chair, and he's just going to no sell it.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. All right, it's going to be that. All right, he's going to get fucking demolished. All right, because why wouldn't he? All right, and you know what sucks is guarantee after that MJF's going to be like, oh, my stipulations for the fucking match, you have to be fucking hands behind your back and all times, and you're blindfolded, and Shawn Spears is special guest referee, and I'm making those stipulations now. Restart the contract signing at Double or Nothing, pushing the match back 4 months.
That's going to be the whole fuckery of it. Is MJF is the special guest referee, so it's just going to be half the match is going to be a screw job sort of deal.
He has to beat Shawn Spears to get the match at Double or Nothing, right? Is that the stipulation?
No.
Yeah,
the match is happening. I thought the match is happening.
That's what I'm saying, because they already booked the match for Double or Nothing.
It's already booked for Double or Nothing, but it's just something he has to do along the way.
So they're going to end up on top, basically. Shawn Spears is going to win due to some fuckery, and then leading into Double or Nothing, then Wardlow's going to come out and fucking, destroy MJF.
But I
don't know. I really think.
Regardless, have fun, man.
Dude,
fuck. It's just going to be fucking,
It's going to be what it's going to be is it's going to be MJF and Shawn Spears double teaming Wardlow the whole time, except now, actually, no, they're going to try and double team them. All right, that's what I think is going to happen. Is they're going to try and double team him. Also, no. The other thing too is I don't know how the match is even going to fucking end because MJF's just not going to count when Wardlow tries to pin him.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so
it's going to be some stupid technicality. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. But
either that, or if it's a legitimate steel cage match.
Hold on. Here's the thing: you can escape the cage. So what could probably happen is he's going to realize that pinning's not going to work, beats the shit out of both of them, and then just leaves the cage.
Right. That's you literally stole the talking point I was just about to bring up, Cody. You ripped it right out of my esophagus. Thank you. Exactly. I think that's what I was because that's what I was going to say is I think they're going to try and double team Wardlow, but it's only if it's not like a Hell in a Cell type steel cage like they did with the Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. That was a fucking Hell in a Cell, or I think it was that match. I think it was those.
Yeah, I think so.
Steel cage recently, the steel cage match that we just saw, that was a cell. That wasn't a fucking steel cage. That was a cell. They were in a cell. That was Hell in a Cell, but they called it a steel cage match, and I thought that was weird. But if it's a legitimate one, like the one where it's just the cage around and they have to climb out, then yeah, it's going to be, they're going to fucking try to double team Wardlow. And as he's about to escape or as he's about to pin, Wardlow's going to come back, beat the ever living fuck out of both of them, including MJF, because MJF's going to be locked in there with Wardlow at that point. He can't just fucking escape if Shawn Spears is down and out. And that's what's going to be great, because it's going to be the first time that Wardlow's going to be able to get his hands on MJF, and then he's going to leave. He's going to walk out. I can see that happening, unless they just do the stupid thing of Wardlow just gets the shit kicked out of him and then they pin him and that's it.
Right.
But, who knows? Because that's the thing. It's not going to be a fucking match. If MJF is special guest referee, it's going to be a fucking handicap match. It's not a fucking. It's dudes in a ring with no referee, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's going to be MJF in a ref shirt with his fucking scarf.
Right.
And he's gonna have his ring on his finger the whole fucking time. He's gonna be in his stupid shoes, it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be as cool as Wardlow versus Cody Rhodes. I'll put it that way, because that match was fucking sweet. Wardlow versus Cody Rhodes. That was the first match where I was like, wow, Wardlow can actually put on a good match. Because I didn't care for Wardlow at the beginning, but that match, that steel cage match, the first steel cage match in AEW, that match was fucking cool. I don't care what anybody says. I liked that match, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a bit of a squash, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense for Wardlow to win it at Double or Nothing. If Wardlow destroys both of them at Dynamite, I'm thinking about it now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Well, let's move on. Ray Phoenix versus Kyle O'Reilly.
That was a great match.
Yeah.
I love Kyle O'Reilly and I love Ray Phoenix, and they both always put on good matches. It's weird because both of those competitors, because they're just Owen Hart, it always brings up what their factions are kind of doing. You know what I mean? Because they're tag team guys. It steers us right back to like House of Black, even, because fucking Ray Phoenix. I don't really know. It was a good match, Hell, it's been so long now. I don't remember who even won.
Kyle O'Reilly won that.
Right. Yes.
The match was fine. I don't really have a strong opinion.
Yeah, I don't either. It was fine.
It was one of those things where it's like, Kyle O'Reilly won. Cool. What else is he going to do in the tournament? He's not a singles competitor.
I feel like it's going to be Adam Cole that wins it all, personally, the way it's looking.
I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine, because Samoa Joe has the title. He doesn't need to win that at this point. The way it's looking, it's looking like that for sure.
Are Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole in the same bracket? Not same bracket, same, like, are they on the same side, or are they going to face, would they face each other in the final?
Cody, you were right. Bracket was the right
bracket. Okay, bracket, yeah. Are they in the same bracket, or are they going to face each other at in the finals?
I'm looking right now. I'm not honestly sure. It's Adam Cole versus winner of Kyle O'Reilly or Samoa Joe. So it's going to be Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. I don't think they're going to do Cole versus O'Reilly.
Yeah. It's going to be
Samoa Joe's not losing against Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. It'll be the finger poke of doom.
Wait, is that's not the finals, is it?
It's Adam Cole's locked in. It's Adam Cole, because Adam Cole defeated Jeff Hardy, and that was the last.
That was the semifinals, right? Okay, that was the
semifinals. Kyle O'Reilly versus Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, they pushed through that first bracket first. They cleared through that first round like
yeah, I get
three matches
confused.
from that before they went to the other bracket, and then they just finished it out and kept doing it. That bracket was ahead of the other bracket, anyways. Like at the beginning, from the beginning. So that would
Then I
make
mean,
sense.
I'm gonna make my prediction now. Samoa Joe. It's gonna be Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, Jay Lethal, and the other motherfuckers. I can't remember their names right now. They're gonna come in, interfere with the match on Samoa Joe. Gonna cost him, and Adam Cole's gonna win it. Adam Cole's gonna go around being hot shit because he won the Owen Hart tournament, and that's gonna lead into Kenny coming back, and then we're gonna have the Undisputed Era versus the Elite.
Let's pray.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna work out.
Oh man, preach it, sister.
Yeah.
But
Let's hope. That's about all that needs to be said about that. Because yeah, like we're getting to the nitty gritty of this tournament. You know, we're getting down to the wire. It's pretty obvious who's going to be winning.
I mean, with the men and the women, my predictions on it is, I believe personally that it's going to be Tony Storm who wins the women's and Adam Cole who wins the men's. But that's me.
That'd be good. I'd like that.
At least that's the way they're
Tony Storm.
booking it. Like it's going to be that. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
It could.
At
It
this
could be
point,
Britt
that's
Baker
a
and it's
safe
a
bet for
couple
both
things,
of them,
but-
honestly.
Say just let Britt Baker give Britt Baker a break. I know she's literally on every single fucking week of since the beginning, and probably she gets more attention than Charlotte Flair has in the past 4
She
years.
needs to leave like Omega, honestly. She needs to take a
Yeah,
break.
she needs an injury because the last time she had an injury,
She needs an injury. You're not wrong though. The last time she had an injury, it actually, but she was still on fucking TV even then.
That's what I said. She was there every fucking week. That's how her. It's weird how these things, snowball effect because she was injured. She was on every fucking week, and that's what built her friendship. Built her friendship with Tony Schiavone. Even though that entire friendship was built on her bullying him every fucking week, and then all of a sudden, oh, we're friends, and now he gets bullied by Adam Cole because he's friends with his girlfriend, and it's like, why though?
Honestly, though, that angle was a little funny though.
Think it was. I didn't like Britt Baker though. Me and my friend who watched it, we used to fucking rag on her for being not a dentist, and a dentist is not a doctor. And it was really funny because my friend kept trolling her on Instagram and kept saying that a dentist isn't a doctor, and she kept saying that in her comments of posts and stuff. And Baker actually replied to one of her comments and told her that she does have a doctorate. And we looked it up, and it was true. She does have a doctorate, so she is a doctor. But a dentist is not a doctor. I'll say it here on this podcast to keep that joke alive. But yeah, that was I never really
The
cared
views
about-
expressed by Nathan do not represent the views of the House of Marks podcast.
Yeah,
we
right.
love dentists. We do believe you're doctors. Please fix our teeth. Anyway,
Dentist is not a doctor. That's why I don't go. I'm British. I don't brush my teeth or have dentistry.
dentists are doctors. Yeah, and birds are books. What a loser.
Birds are actually government drones. Welcome to the House of Conspiracies podcast. No, for real though. I never cared about Britt Baker that much. I know that she's kind of the I guess you could say Charlotte Flair, but
Let's talk about Britt Baker versus
Tony Storm,
Kyoto now.
Macchiato.
Macchiato. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it now, since we're already on Britt Baker.
But wait, we didn't already talk about it. Oh, okay.
I mean, that it was fine.
It was a
I
good,
don't
it
know.
was a good match. It was fine.
Okay.
It was a good match. It was, like we said when we were talking about the Jokers, it was kind of a lackluster, or not lackluster, but anticlimactic.
We mentioned that earlier. Yeah, I thought the match was fine. You know what I mean? I didn't really follow her a lot, but I did like, it was fun.
That's fine.
Well, let's go next to Chris Stratlander versus Red Velvet.
That match was pretty good. I love Chris Statlander. I'm glad.
She really
again,
needs to be pushed more, man.
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. She has been cool. It was one of those things, like I said it
Give
last
her the fucking TNT belt, dude. I'm gonna say it.
TBS.
I think she
Yes.
might be the one to actually take the belt from Jade
Yeah.
Cargill.
The hose title.
I definitely don't think it's gonna be
I was
fuck's her name.
Red Velvet.
No. Who's
You
facing
read-
Jade Cargill at Double or Nothing? It's
Anna Jay, which is
Anna
really-
Jay. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be her.
Oh yeah,
but
that's
I
just
could see
another
Chris
map Jade's
Strat-
gonna fucking win. Yeah.
But I could
It's-
see Chris
that's
Stratlander
gonna
doing it.
be a piss break match because you're not even going to have enough time. That's going to be fucking Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes, dude. That's going to be a 10-second match. I'm kidding, of course. It's probably going to be a pretty decent match, but no, I don't think Anna Jay is going away with that. I think she's going to get. I hate to say it, but murdered. Honestly, Jade Cargill's kind of on a fucking streak right now.
Well, when you have someone like her that's been undefeated for over a year, is your undefeated champion, she has to lose to somebody that
Someone
you're
with-
planning on pushing to the moon. You got to
Someone with-
make her loss worth something.
Yeah, this isn't Asuka versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I know I keep bringing it up, but my God, the booking.
Yeah.
But
But
thinking of
the
that
thing-
one, my God.
I don't
but
see Anna
seriously,
Jay. I
this-
don't
Jade
see Anna
Cargill
Jay
needs
as
to
the
be-
person.
yeah. Yes, she needs to
But
be
I
beaten by
can see Chris Stratlander. She actually does have the backing of the fans. She is a great wrestler. And, even looking at her record, they book her like she's good. They book her well. They book her to win majority of her matches by a lot. So
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah.
any reason not to let her be the one to beat Jade Cargill. I don't know who else it would be.
Tony
Yeah.
Storm, even.
Tony Storm, I guess, but I
Well, I
feel
mean,
like
'cause
Tony
this is still-
Storm's
this
going
is all
straight for
still
the
in-
world title.
No, this is still all in the tournament, isn't it? Because Chris Statlander's part of the tournament. Red Velvet and Chris
But
Statlander was the
Right,
match.
but I know that. But Chris Statlander, well, she's gonna move on, right? She won, but wait, she won, right? I'm not.
Chris Statlander
Yeah,
won.
okay,
Yeah.
right.
And Red Velvet hit the rest
but
of the baddies
the-
caught- beat
but
the
my
shit out
point
of her
is that
and,
Jade Cargill isn't. She's not in the tournament.
she's champion. I'm pretty sure winner gets a title shot. Is that not how this is working?
I didn't think it was.
I never
Maybe
heard
it
anything about a title shot. No, I think
Yeah,
it's just,
I
just the
think
winner.
it's
just
just
a regular tournament.
you get to say you're the winner.
Oh, so they're really doing that. Okay, so this is just tournament.
This
Okay.
is just to be a this is just to win. But it's kind of similar. It's one of
know.
those things where if you win it, you kind of get a push along with it.
It's a it's a prestigious thing though.
Yeah,
the
it's
first Owen
bragging
Hart tournament,
rights.
Okay, we'll put it this way then. If they don't get a title shot, I'm pretty sure a title shot will not be that far down the line.
Probably not.
Potentially, yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, yeah, but both of them are still in the tournament themselves. So we can still talk about it like that. I didn't know that there wasn't a title match or anything at the end of the line. That kind of just seems weird. Then what are they fighting for? Just bragging rights? Haha.
Yeah, that's it. Bragging rights. From what I understand, I don't remember hearing that there was
Huh,
any type
yeah.
of reward for it. But
That's a little anticlimactic, don't you think?
well, MJF has his ring, so not everything,
Yeah, but it's a battle royal.
Yeah.
It's different. This is a tournament. They when they have tournaments, they usually end up with the winner gets a fucking title shot.
Yeah, but I think this is just a way to promote the. I think
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
so.
just saying. It just seems a little anticlimactic. That's just the tournament's been getting anticlimactic lately. That's all.
Well, let me talk about something that hasn't been anticlimactic. And that is Jericho and Regal. That is, we're talking about the Jericho Appreciation Society
That was such a good promo.
going to war with
Wizard?
with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh,
What'd you say, Wes?
Jericho.
That was
Because
such a good fucking
that's on
promo.
fire.
Such a good promo.
I liked it. The only thing I'm gonna say is I would much rather a Stadium Stampede match. That's just me.
I think
know
they've done it enough, and I like the angle of it just being a more brutal fight. And they've already come out and said, I don't know if you read that, but basically since the pandemic's done, they're not going to really be doing Stadium Stampede ever again.
Well,
That was more or less
I
just
was
Tony
hoping
Khan
it
had the availability because they weren't doing anything there,
Dude, I was hoping it was going to be a blood and guts match. To be honest.
Somebody was saying that it's like basically Blood and Guts is War Games. So like have Regal just go on the mic and go, War Games, War Games, no, blood and guts, whatever.
That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
I fucked that up. That was supposed to be funny. I'm excited to see the fucking match. The
That was
promo
so
was great though. Promo was great.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for the match. Definitely, this is the first big rivalry that they've been a part of. I'm kind of hope. Well, so is Wheeler Yuta not going to be in the match because he wasn't there for the promo?
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I wonder
I
if
remember
he
thinking
had
that,
something
like,
going on.
Yeah,
well,
like they
I
told
was
him to
I was
stay
thinking
home.
about it. It's
Yeah,
5-on-5. They don't. I guess maybe they don't have a 6-man, but I don't know. It felt weird to me. Like you have this whole guy whose whole thing is, you're training him. You kind of told the whole story about getting him, and then your first big rivalry, you kind of don't use him, and we don't
That's
really know
cool.
where he's
Forgot
at.
about that.
So I that kind of confused me. But I guess the logic was they too many guys because they have to include Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. But
Yeah. That's what I'm assuming. He probably won't be in the match, but he might be ringside or something. Who knows? Or he'll have a spot where he comes out and start beating people up. I don't know. You never know. He might be injured right now or something. I don't know. Like kayfabe. I mean,
yeah,
you never know.
Maybe. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good match. Thought the rivalry was great. I will say I hope they bring back the Stadium Stampede at one point. Don't let it be a never again thing. Those things
No,
are
I hope
cool.
they do blood and guts again, dude. Blood and guts are fucking cool. I love war games matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the match is gonna be really good, honestly.
But let's move on. We got one more match to talk about, and we kind of already talked about most of it. And then that's another week. We have Jeff Hardy versus Adam Cole.
Yeah,
Good match. Really
it's a
good.
good match. Good finish. Had a good finish.
I think it's cool that they gave Jeff the win over Darby, so that he could have the one. We all knew he wasn't going to win the tournament. He's just there's nothing.
As soon as I
tournaments
saw
like that are
that
for
he
the
was
young,
facing
for
Adam
the
Cole.
young. It's for the this generation.
Mhm.
Jeff had nothing to win from that. I don't even know if they're ever even going to be tag champions.
They did it well though. They sold it like he was hurt. And with Adam Cole attacking him at the start of the match, it kind of already set the chain of events that were going to lead up to the finish of that match. And I think the way they handled it was good because you don't want to have Jeff lose totally clean because there's still some hype surrounding him being in the promotion finally. It was well executed. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what Hardy does more as time goes on.
On top of the fact, dude, he had a comeback moment. He hit the fucking stunner move and he went up for the swanton and Adam Cole got out of the way and hit him with the knee, and that was the end of the match. Like it was
a really good finish.
Yeah, it was beautifully done. Those are types of booking that are done really well, and I wish that the TNT title would go back to booking like that because they used to be booked that way, and now they're not. I wanted to just bring that up again. How good of the booking it was. It's really strange and frustrating.
It's frustrating, especially when you have good singles matches going on for no fucking title, but you have a mid-card title that's sitting in the worst fucking writing possible right now. Like I don't get it.
The World Heavyweight Championship WCW days, real right at the end, when David Arquette was champion, and they were just giving it to anybody and their mother. That's what they're at right now. It feels like to me, and I'm just so over it. It's like you need to fucking hit the reset button, rewind a little bit. All right, get those guys away from the belt because obviously you don't know what you don't know what to do with them. Because I mean, that's the only. I don't understand why this got so confusing. They just didn't let the rivalry end. But anyway, we're going off topic. Jeff Hardy versus fucking Adam Cole. It was a pretty good match. I really liked it how it was done. Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say, guys. What about y'all?
Fuck Charlotte Flair.
Well, man, that's another week. I don't remember if we said this at the time. I don't think we did, actually.
We did.
Let me announce that if anybody... All right. So if anybody is listening to this, what we are going to do is we're going to stream the Double or Nothing pay-per-view on TikTok. As long as TikTok will let us keep it up. Once they kick us off, I'm not going to keep trying to log on because if they don't suspend us after one warning, I'm going to call it because I don't want to fuck up our TikTok channel. But go follow us on TikTok, The House of Marks Pod on TikTok. Also, go follow us on Instagram.
I
Twitter.
believe at Instagram it's House of Marks Pod. For TikTok, it's just at House of Marks. And if
Oh,
you're
you're
gonna
right,
follow
you're
us
right.
on
I'm
Twitter,
sorry.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
House_of_Marks.
Right.
We're gonna try to get all those kind of, we're
gonna try to
still
clean them up.
we're still trying to, get us, a foot. But if you are listening, we appreciate it. We're gonna keep, giving you our takes every week. I won't be there
Whether
for the
you
TikTok.
want them or not.
Yeah, I won't be there for the TikTok live reaction, but we will have an episode following Double or Nothing immediately, as you know, Tuesday night. Probably Tuesday morning will be up. And we're gonna kind of recap everything, and as well as give our predictions on, what's gonna happen post Double or Nothing now. Which that's gonna be a very interesting episode. Dynamite after Double or Nothing. I feel like that's gonna be the pair, just like post WrestleMania Raw.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
I'm.
a night of segments. That's just what I want.
I will say this just as a quick prediction. I just want to say Kenny Omega is going to show up at Double or Nothing. I think. I'm gonna say that because I feel like that's going to be a big thing, and I feel like this is going to happen. They're going to pull that trigger. And I'm not going to be there with you guys for the night of. So I'm just going to say that now. If I'm wrong, hey, y'all call me out. Kenny Omega's returning at Double or Nothing.
You think they're gonna pull that V trigger?
I won't go into too many other predictions. I'm kind of excited to see how this is all going to play out. Punk's winning for sure. But yeah, I think big return set. Omega's going to show up.
I mean,
I think
there's
now's
some
the
that we can
time.
obviously say. I'm pretty sure Punk's gonna win. We know Wardlow's gonna win.
Punk's gonna win, and then Omega's music's gonna fucking hit, and he's gonna stare down Punk from the fucking stage. That's what's gonna happen.
See, I honestly,
so Omega doesn't need to win the belt, so that's just gonna be a good feud for Punk to win.
I kind of think if Omega was going to return, I figured he would return when Adam Cole wins the tournament. All of a sudden, lights go out. Kenny Omega's theme song hits. He walks out, and there's a stare down between the two of them, kind of like. You decided to take over my group, and then there's like this moment, and then they hug each other, and they're like, "Oh, we fell for it. They're actually friends," and that's when the tension kind of starts because there's this, yeah, we're friends, but then there's that side glance, like, "I'm watching you, motherfucker."
Yeah, man, that'll be interesting. Fuck, that I could definitely see something set up there. I don't know. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a really good one. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, tune into the TikTok night of to see live reaction with Cody and Nate here, and then tune in the Tuesday for
tune in early because we don't know how long we may get it the whole pay-per-view. We may not get it at all. And like I said, once it's gone, it's gone.
And regardless, you're gonna hear our thoughts Tuesday next week. So thanks for listening. It's Wes here.
Absolutely. Cody.
I'm Nate.
This is the evening news at 10.